Oh, hey, everybody. I didn't realize the recording had come on and started. Let me just get myself a sip of my coffee right here. This is Breaking the Cage Astrology TV, and it is for May 20th through the 26th. That's just the best way to start this week. This is a powerful, powerful, powerful week, people. Hear my kitty come in. You want to say hi to everybody, Napatoni? Say hi. Say hi, Mr. Napatoni. All right. The cat comes in. That says a lot right there. This is a very magical week. And we have the full moon in Sag on Thursday, the 23rd. And that right there, before I get into all the rest of the astrology and what Spirit's given me, that right there tells you a big factor. Because this can be a magical moment if you're in your consciousness or the consciousness. If you are in that higher mind, that higher perspective. Because if you're not, this is going to be a week of freaking crisis. Okay. This is a week where all the curveballs are going to come in. You know, choom, choom, like on the Matrix when he's dodging the bullets. But this could be such a high mind perspective, higher consciousness, really connecting with source energy. That has a lot to do with the full moon that's coming in Sagittarius. Like I said, it depends on realizing your consciousness and where you're at within it versus your 3-dimensional, 4, 5-dimensional energies, and so forth. And putting in perspective where some of that may not be linking together and connecting the way that you want it to versus the way you're trying to control it to be versus just being. Spirit gives me for this week, and I love how they give it to me. They give me a fox diving in the snow and playing. The snow is representing the divinity, the white essence of the purity of who and what we are. The fox diving in and playing is tapping into yourself and not taking everything so freaking seriously. Don't forget who and what you are, and that at all moments, even if some shit comes in, it's something somehow you've created in your reality, even if it's the crappiest of situations, meant to help you see a new perspective and to teach you how to change that. The fox diving into the snow is being a playful energy, but foxes are also known to be cunning. But most importantly, what I'm getting from this energy is everything that you could possibly need, you already have. Tapping into the resources and the energy of you, your source energy, your fire, your soul. Tapping back into everything is part of you. So just be. And allowing that to help you understand. Because on a lower perspective, you have a lot of energies going on in the 12th house, in Pisces, in Aries, and in Taurus that are going to bring in a lot of self-identifying crisis energy. And that's asking us to question ourselves, question our identity. Remember, last week I was speaking about us being able to come into our abilities, and in order for us to truly ever get to where we're in that power of really truly being in our abilities, we have to be in our power of us right here and now, knowing what we are. And why would we ever receive those abilities if we don't really, if we can't be us, if we can't be us and already be this superhero, already be connected to the divine energy, already be connected to the celestial energy, that is who and what we are. And that's what a lot of this week is. But with the questioning of that is going to come a lot of aggressive energy, a lot of aggressive energy, a lot of cunning energy, a lot of selfish energy, some narcissistic energy, some manipulative energy, dictator type energy, me first, and push and shove and screw you. You're going to see a lot of that from those who are not in their inner divine power, who are not able to stay tapped in and know that this is nothing more than a transformational energy helping us to get past wounds that we've carried for lifetimes and allow ourselves to change into the character that we always were, but we didn't know that we're becoming again. A lot of this has to do with full moon, so it's release, surrender, and let go of what's no longer serving you. But not trying to control it and manipulate it into making it go the way you think it's going to go, because then that's just not going to happen. That's why I said it's a lot of the just be, because be comfortable with who and what you are. Be able to be playful. Don't take everything quite so seriously, but still address what is necessary. Understand that we are seeing changes that will make leaps and bounds, but they're going to be small things. Don't be trying to make extravagant situations right now. The transformational changes are tiny pieces that I'm being given an old Cinderella movie. How can you love anything that's a pebble in your shoe? This is taking the pebble out of the shoe. That's it. Realizing where the pebble is, what's making it hurt, and acknowledging what we have to do to make the changes, taking steps to make those changes. And the things that need to be changed are what's going to be slapping you in the face, going, we're down to the last of what I could do to show you this. Now, let me explain. You have the sun moving into Gemini this week. On the 25th, right here at the end of the week, right after that full moon, you have Jupiter entering into Gemini. This is your communication, but more importantly, it's everything that's up close and personal to you. And Jupiter is coming out of Taurus. Your independence, your individuality, your uniqueness, your freedom, standing in the possession of the power of you. And how in your power are you truly? How in control of controlling your energy outbursts, your emotional outbursts are you? You have Venus that's going to also be moving into Gemini right here at the end of the week, but Venus and Mercury are both flying through Taurus this week. But here's one of the kickers nobody's really talking about. They're talking about the fact that Neptune's been here right at the butt end of Pisces for a while, but Neptune's not actually going to move out until next year. Did I write down when? No, I didn't write down when. But he's not actually, I think it's June next year. But Neptune's not actually going to be moving out until next year. But this goes to remind us we are reevaluating what Neptune has been trying to teach us about where we're not healing. Looking back over your last 13 years, Neptune has been in Pisces by the time it moves for 13 years next year. So for the rest of this year, Neptune itself is evaluating what lessons you haven't been able to heal and are still in the skeletons in the closet, still in grief, sorrow, shame, blame, bitterness, vampire syndrome. I don't really want this, but I don't know how to do it any other way. So please take it from my cold, dead hands because I can't seem to give it to you. Where are we creating crap magic? Where are we creating from that three-dimensional hive mind constructed the way you're supposed to think instead of really being us and free and vibrant and in our celestial highest of vibration and soul energy? And it's tapping over the lessons we haven't learned over those 13 years. And the reason I'm saying it that way is because this week, come at the end of the week, of course, all of this is also taking place right after that full moon. So this energy is just building like a volcano ready to erupt all week. And you have Saturn that is coming up on Nessus. Nessus is the curse, the ancestral curse, where we haven't been able to bring the healing in, where we keep doing the same thing, where repetitive is comfortable, is what we know, where we're afraid to try the new or be something different because that consists of the unknown. Taking that chance. Then we have the full moon energy in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is your galactic center. It is your higher mind. It is your ethics and your morals. But it's on a three-dimensional world, our ethics and our morals and how we're choosing to be part of our character versus truly are you connected with a higher consciousness and seeing the bigger picture and making this transformation, making this change. So you have a lot of things coming at us going, I've been trying to tell you, I've been trying to get through to you, I'm trying to give you that lesson. We're trying to move forward. So I'm collaborating you with everything that you might be refusing to see. Everything that you might be afraid to step into the unknown about. But this is more than just counting on yourself. It's being the fox. I already have everything I need. I don't have to play this three-dimensional game. I don't have to be part of this matrix game. This is really connecting on that higher perspective and soulfully reigniting, relighting, kindling the flame. But you're going to be pushed. Will you go for it? Like I said, there's a lot of here. Release, surrender, let go. Doesn't mean ignore. It means rise above. And that doesn't mean rising above doesn't mean allowing bad things to happen, but let me rise above it, be the better person. No, that does mean standing up for what's right. But it also means don't lower yourself to, it's like trying to have a conversation with somebody who you know is not awoke, not woken, not awake, not on the conscious level at all. And you're trying to help, you're trying to make them, they're not going to get it. So you're wasting your breath and your time and your energy, knowing what fight to fight, knowing where to put your energy right now. That can be the most magical thing. All week long. Okay. First off, I'm not really getting into the blueprint because the blueprint ain't really changed other than the sun and Jupiter as they move in. And then Venus, as we actually go into next week more, is going to be coming out of the head and the throat, which is the way your mind is reacting because you have all of the Aries energy. You have all of the Aries energy. You have all of the Taurus energy. And then Taurus is slowly everybody moving into Gemini. And this is pretty much your head, your throat, your ears, your zeal point. It is your consciousness, communication. and hearing and speaking the truth. Seeing what you are connecting to emotionally and what that's doing to you according to what you're attaching your energy to. But then it's coming into the esophagus and actually bringing oxygen into the lungs and moving out the carbon dioxide is where we're moving into this energy. So of course we've been having so many solar flares and the geomagnetic storms and whatnot. So you may have a little bit of that head fog because we're clearing this shit out. And then we have a lot going on in the feet and the ankles and the calves. You may be having spasms in those energies, or a lot of times when people are trying to go too fast and avoid something, or not seeing something, not even avoiding it, going too fast and missing the point, something that's not necessarily helpful to them or serving them, and then they'll stub their foot because it's something they really shouldn't be doing. You may be getting, energies, Charlie horse, in the leg and the ankle, stuff like that. This is stuff all reminding you, slow down. That's coming from the lower levels of consciousness trying to balance. But this week, there's actually a lot of good energy when we look into the astrology, if you know how to read it. If you know how to work with it, this is definitely an energy that you have to work with. It's not going to work for you the way you want it to. You have to work with it and learn the lessons it's teaching from that higher perspective. So this is definitely a week. Stop, slow down, take a step back, and mentally calibrate that information. You have a grand trine all week. This is definitely a positive energy. Like I said, a lot of lessons going on here, but lessons that can move you forward, but don't expect them to be extravagant. Like I said, these are small things that add up to big things because it's such a hard lesson. Not to mention Mars this week is going to be Mars is coming up on Chiron. It's just past the North Node. So this is part of that aggression, part of that warrior, me first, I've got to make this happen right now energy. For those who are, still in that fearful energy of what they're trying to control versus knowing they already are. Okay, you have the Sun, Jupiter, Uranus, and Venus. As the Sun and Jupiter, because the Sun's going to be moving into Gemini here on the 20th. And then as we come to the end of the week, you're seeing Jupiter move out. You're seeing Venus move out. But Uranus is still going to be here in Taurus. But they're within that 10 degrees. It is having a grand trine with Pluto, which is in retrograde. Now remember, Pluto in retrograde is the only one that when it goes in retrograde, kind of goes into overdrive. Meaning I said this shit's going to change. We're not going to put up with it this way anymore. And it's still in Aquarius. It is still seeing, where are you not in that higher perspective? Where are you afraid to make those changes? Because when it goes back into Capricorn, it's kind of like going back to sleep. I mean, the consciousness of it is like going back to sleep. But right now, it's still in retrograde in Aquarius. And this is our goals, our dreams, our ambitions, our communities. This is stepping into humanity. And where are we doing the right thing for the right reasons with the right tribes? Death, decay, and destruction of what's not serving us, getting on board with what is serving us. Relationships. Also with ourselves. And then it's speaking to that 6th house with Lilith. Again, where's your fire in your daily mundane tasks? Where are you thriving in the desire of your daily activity? Where are you wanting to be part of that daily activity? It's your energy food diet. people, places, and things. It's not just your job or your career. It's an energy diet. Coming all the way back around again to that communication as Sun moves into Gemini, up close and everything that's personal to you. And then it's still dealing with that Jupiter, Venus, and Uranus right here at the end of Taurus. Self-worth, self-value, self-esteem, being in the power and the possession of ourselves. Feeling liberated. Taking that manifestation with it. Where are you in question of the liberation? This is actually a good thing. But sometimes in order to get us into that good perspective, that good direction, we also got to be reminded where the Venus uncomfortable part, where are we not feeling liberated, where we not feel strong in our foundation of who and what we are, to show the world in our daily routines, our daily activities, our daily mundane tasks, that we are the creator, that we feel that we are the creator, that we're thriving in the moment to moment activity and we want to be part of it. And who are you connected with? Who and what are you connected with? Are those areas, those peoples, those communities supporting you? This is definitely a time to release, surrender, and let go of what's not serving. But this is a positive energy that can put you in the right direction by acknowledging what's not supposed to be there, or where you're not stepping up to the plate within your own self. You also have that Sun, Jupiter, Uranus, and Venus energy is having an incredible, powerful chain reaction. And I'm the only astrologer that you're going to hear that's going to talk about chain reactions that way, because Spirit gives me specific things when I look at the astrology. And they're like this, this, this. But there's not necessarily an aspect wording for it. And they point out, this is an important one. Don't miss this connection. And this is all positive energies again of standing in your communication with yourself, your individuality, your unique possession and power over your own self and believing in it. And it is connecting with Neptune all week. Remember, that's also talking about creating your magic, but we're also evaluating the last 13 years of where we have done it right and where we've done it wrong. And then that inner magic, illusion and delusion, fantasy meets harsh reality, 12th house, what needs to heal, and breathing it into reality, it's speaking again to that Pluto retrograde. This is what you have to do. Coming all the way back around to who and what are you? Very powerful energy. This is all about, are you in your higher consciousness and seeing and believing and feeling that connection to the oneness, to the consciousness, to the oversouls? Or are you caught in the dilemma of the three-dimensional distractions and the lower vibrations? Because this is definitely a manifesting, bam, I could do a lot energy, but it depends where your head's at. So this is why I'm given the fox playing in the snow. Play in the divinity. Play in the Gaia energy. Play with the manifestation. Play with the fun of knowing that you can be anything. If you take it too seriously, it will become cunning. Knowing that you don't have to know it all, but that you just have to believe in making the changes. And is this me or is this not? No more bullshit. You have the moon that's going to be moving through Libra this week, then into Scorpio, then into Sag. So as it goes through Scorpio, it's going to get more intense. Scorpio energy is always more intense. It's emotionally intense. I like to call it like a sexy Sherlock Holmes. Like, I can cipher anything. I can look for anything. If you're looking for drama, you will find it this week. But at the same time, it's very transformational energy. So this is a wash yourself clean or a tsunami and drown your ass. Depends on where you're taking your mind. Then we come into that full moon. And as we come past that full moon in Sag, the higher perspectives, the higher morals, the higher ascension, not just psychic energy and psychic abilities, but like I said, what do you need the ability? Why do you need to fly? Well, what do we need these special, wonderful abilities for if we can't have the ability to be the best us without them? Then we start moving into understanding that consciousness and that higher perspective and that higher psychic energy and why these abilities are starting to come into being. You can't do it from that lower perspective. This is growing energy. Because as we end the week, that moon is moving into Capricorn, coming back into very grounded, very firm. Yo, I need some foundation here to work with. Capricorn is one of the coldest energies. So it is going all week to where it can really start to build something new. I just got construction for destruction. I mean, destruction for construction. Yeah, because I got a Hindu god standing in front of me now. But I mean, like you said, this is a very good thing. But this is where, or at the end of the week, where is that foundation and that grounding energy? What are you going to be settling in? And you want to make sure that as you make it through that full moon and you make it through all of this, you're settling in something that's higher perspective, not something that's going to pull you back down and be more of smash and grab, is what I just heard. You don't want to be part of that. You want to be part of the let's make the change. But we got to first really be in our us. You have Uranus. Did I miss something? Did I go past it? No. You have Uranus this week and Mercury. It's just the way I wrote it. I was confusing myself. Uranus and Mercury and Venus part of the week as Venus crosses you, comes up on you. No, I did write it wrong. It's Uranus and Venus this week, which are going to be sextiling that Saturn and Nessus. Rules, walls, boundaries, coming from our uncomfortable healing zone where we're comfortable in our uncomfortability because that's what we know, what we've been trained, what we were told that this world's like, and what it should be when we know that this is what we're changing. We're resetting, redirecting, rebuilding. The sensitivity and the Uranus energy standing in that ability to step into communicating who we are independently, individually, setting yourself apart, but knowing your power. And it is speaking to Saturn and Nessus. This is making the changes of setting that energy out. Redirecting. Let's not follow the same old theme, the same old story. I'm ready to heal. Rules, walls, boundaries. Shifting. Sometimes shifting is just a little bit. Doesn't have to be a massive, extravagant thing. Like I said, this is coming into the ancestral. Perfect example of what I'm trying to get at here is those of you who've been following me for any amount of time, you guys know I take care of my mom. That she has dementia. She's 80 years old. She has AFib. She needs a heart valve. And I take care of her. That's my main job. And just getting up and going to the bathroom and coming back for her going from the seat to the toilet and back, and she's out of breath. Okay. And I will baby her to a point. Because then I have to realize I'm also not allowing her to live life, and I have to make her get up and do some things, because otherwise she just sits there like a bump on the log and just wants to watch TV. And but at the same time, I'm protecting her, so it's kind of a wishy-washy. Do I let her do things, or do I do everything myself? Well, with the dementia, her mind can't follow like a story on TV, like a plot. You know, she can't keep up with the plot. So she wants to watch little things that she hears in the background, but it doesn't really matter. You know, like American Pickers or Oak Island, or maybe some old TV shows like Leave It to Beaver, something that she can remember, but she can't keep up with the plot. She'll be asking me every 15 minutes, not every 15 seconds is more like it. What, what? And so 90% of the time, if I'm hanging out with her, I let her watch whatever. I'll let her watch like Oak Island 24 hours a day, you know? But as a human being, there are times where I'm like, seriously, I cannot watch another. I can't deal with another Oak Island episode, or I can't deal. I've heard the same thing for 7 years straight. No. Little things. She also has a TV in her room. I don't have one in my room. I don't watch TV that often. But from time to time, I'm like, okay, that's it. That's it. I can't, you know what? We're going to put it on in your room. You can sit there all day. Because I need some adult conversation. I need to at least hear not the same thing I'm hearing for the, you know what I'm saying? Little things can go a long way, making you feel better about yourself. I used to also say I used to say a story about your soul song. And back in the day, McDonald's used to have iced tea that they would serve in a styrofoam cup. And way back in the day, my mom, before any of the dimension stuff happened, no matter where we were going, if she was going out for the day, she had to stop and get her iced tea from McDonald's. And it was not because it was McDonald's, it was because it was a styrofoam cup. That styrofoam cup made everything extra cold and made her just that much happier. This is what I'm getting at. What are those little things that go so far? Little things that maybe aren't a major change, but can really help bring you back to center, get you back to happiness. Because speaking up and following through with those things, these are the things that start to make those changes. It doesn't have to be such a big deal. Uranus, Venus, feeling in your security, in your manifestation, in your, and then Saturn and Nessus. Little things make a big deal. But it's a positive energy, but it's such a simple one that you could make a change just by making the change. Little pieces add up to big pieces. On the full moon in Sag, I believe that's Thursday, you also have another powerful chain reaction. You have that moon in Sag, which is getting along great with Neptune. Again, creating the magic coming out of that 12th house, grief, sorrow, shame, blame, skeletons in the closet, where we haven't found the healing. We're still holding on to what we know, our comfort, uncomfortable zone. And then going back over to Pluto again. But with the moon, this is your emotional energy, connecting with your higher mind energy, your psychic energy, your ethics and your morals from a higher perspective, your galactic center coming into bringing that outer world, your goals, your dreams, your ambitions into a possible reality by stepping into the magic of that Neptune. Remember, this is also going to deal with the love. 13 years reminding you, what little things have you not done to help yourself? Or where has it helped you? Step into your Neptune, your magic. But that moon in Sag is not getting along on that full moon. It is not getting along with anything going on in Taurus or the sun as it moved into Gemini. So this is your self-worth, your self-value, your self-esteem, your liberation, your feel good and secure about what you're manifesting. It is going to be sensitive. It's questioning you. Are you on point? Have you spiritually grown? What do you still have to release, surrender, and let go of in order to get to who you really are? Where are you holding on to the heavy? Staying attached to the heavy that's weighing you down. This is what we don't want. Fox playing in the snow. And then as the moon moves through Sagittarius and Capricorn, after that full moon, it is definitely questioning everybody in that seventh house. The relationship with the seventh house in Libra is your justice, your balance with yourself and your relationship zone sitting on the south node. That's everything you're good at, but it don't serve you anymore because it's not growing. And then it's not getting along with the 12th house, Nessus, Saturn, and Neptune. It's fighting with, it's having communications, not necessarily fighting with Mars, North Node, Eris, Chiron. This is where we still on our, because that's the only thing I know how to protect myself. Versus, I'm already everything. I just have to remember that. And come back into your divine energy. Don't hold on to the heavy this week, guys. That's the best thing I can give you because it's resetting a foundation and we're going into the direction of that change. Right now, don't hold on to the heavy. I love you. See you next week.